What's going on, guys? This is Talking Sports with Adam and Alec, episode 10. I missed last week, Super Bowl Sunday. Not really too much to talk about. Not too much to talk about last week. But today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Touch briefly on the XFL. A little bit about the NBA, and then discuss what's about to go down the next 6 weeks on our podcast, which I'm really excited about the next 6 weeks. I'm ecstatic about the next 6 weeks.
Baseball's
It's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be good.
So, first and foremost, Super Bowl 54.
The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 54 champions.
Yes.
Great game.
It was. My face gets brighter because I got the iPad underneath me. So. All right. So, it was a really good game.
It really was.
It really was.
You know, we talked about a couple weeks ago how key to the game was going to be Kansas City's defense showing up to play.
Get enough stops.
And
for the
most part, they did.
Yes.
They did have that 10-point hole at the first part.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I guess, in the middle of the game.
And we thought they could hold on to it. I thought they were holding on to it.
But I really think that was because of the 49ers defense.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
And San Francisco don't have a great offense. Because Garoppolo, he went 219 with a TD and 2 INTs. That's not an awful stat line yardage-wise, but that 1-2 ratio is not great at all.
And their leading rusher was Mozart. He went 12 for 58 in a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kansas City really contained the run.
That's still almost 5 yards a carry for Mostert.
But he went for 200 in the
That's true.
NFC Championship
But
game. So.
that 200, you can't expect every time. But their leading receiver was Bourne 2 for 42. I mean, your leading receiver had 42 yards.
Right.
That's
not going to get it done.
No, on the flip side, you had
2 interceptions.
Yeah, you had Mahomes, the MVP of Super Bowl 54, go for 286, 2 tutties, and 2 interceptions. Then the guy you think should have been MVP, Damian Williams. 17 for 104 and a tutty.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Maybe receiving.
He had there was one
And
receiver.
Tyreek Hill, 9 for 105.
That's pretty good.
I feel like that 105 was quiet, though, for the most part.
He got like 50 on that one
Yeah.
play that got him back in the game.
So, I mean, it was a really good game.
Pretty good. Solid Super Bowl. We'll take it.
Off season now for the NFL, but not for football as a general whole, I guess.
My prediction was pretty sure it was 28-21 Chiefs.
I think mine
So I was close.
23-17 in overtime.
Yeah, you did have.
And at one point, it looked like it
was.
could have been. I said,
But I mean, if you look at the box score here, I mean, Kansas City scored 21 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, because it was 20-10 going into the
20-10 going into the fourth quarter.
And they erupted for 3 tutties.
Patrick Mahomes did go off.
Those touchdowns were Travis Kelce 1 yard, Damian Williams 5-yard pass from Mahomes.
He had that run when the game was
Williams
over.
38-yard run.
Yeah. The game was already pretty much over. But still, he went off for 40.
What we were noticing looking at this line was San Francisco was actually 95.4% favorite to win the game with only 7 minutes and 23 seconds. And that was on a Mahomes pass incomplete to Tyreek Hill.
I think that was right before they...
That was a 1st and 15 at Kansas City 35. And after that, it started going downhill.
I'm pretty sure that was right before they threw that big... The wasp play or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That Tyreek had 5 yards of separation on that route he ran.
The bad part about it wasn't even sold out. It was 96%.
Could be that tickets... The lowest tickets were 4,000.
I mean, that might have something to do with it.
It's a rich people's game to go to.
It is. Yeah. We stick with Big 12 championship games.
Yeah. We can afford that.
We like those.
We can afford that.
Those are our friends. So,
it was a good Super Bowl, though.
As I pull up the XFL, what else do you want to touch on about the Super Bowl, if anything?
I'll just say that I was pleased with the results. I was not about to... As you can see, Dallas Cowboys here. I was not about to see the 49ers win another Super Bowl.
It was a very good game.
It was a good game.
I
On
think-
both sides of the ball.
You got your money's worth if you spent $4,000.
Yeah.
So the XFL Part 2, I guess they had the league a while
20 years ago.
It's been a minute. It's back. It's fully, from what I'm understanding, it's fully funded for 3 years at least. So no matter how this first season goes, it's guaranteed 3 years. That's what I'm understanding. I might be wrong, but that's from my understanding. That's what this is.
Back 20 years ago, it only lasted one season. If
Yeah.
I'm remembering correctly.
Which I think this will last. I think it's different.
I
think it's a good different.
The little bit that I got to watch, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
definitely. I
watching
watched 1.5 yesterday, and then Baylor's playing basketball, so I had to watch that. But rules are a little bit different.
it. Yep. So there's a couple rule changes. Their main focus is they want a faster paced football game. So with that being said, there's a 25-second play clock compared to 40-second for the NFL. So as soon as the play ends, the 25-second clock's about to start. It's at 40 for the NFL. There's a running game clock. I know that there's only 2 timeouts.
Yeah, that's
2
different.
timeouts instead of 3 in the NFL. And that's basically how they're trying to make it more fast-paced. I guess trying to make it more exciting, I guess you could say. Big plays, faster tempo, not having to drag on, I guess. With the kickoff, they start from the 30-yard line, which in the NFL is 35.
Yeah.
And then I'm still kind of confused on this part.
This part, I understood it really well after I watched it. Team kicks it. You got one return man, and then you got the down men, probably 5-10 yards away from each other.
I think it's 5.
Does it say
Coverage
that
team
high?
lines up on the return side, 35-yard line. And the return team lines up on the 30. So they're 5 yards apart.
5 yards away. Those, I
Each
guess,
team
10
must have
guys.
3 players outside the hash marks on both sides of the ball and cannot move until the ball is caught by the returner.
Yeah, so those 10 guys cannot make a move until the guy kicks it and that guy catches
As
it.
soon as he gets his hands on the ball,
You can go. So, I mean, I think it's going to set up pretty well. From what I saw yesterday, it was pretty interesting.
And a touchback goes to the 35.
Yeah, we
35
saw
yard
that
line.
once today. Well, I saw it on Twitter once today. Didn't see any games today. But I would pull up stats, but my ESPN app keeps wanting to shut down whenever I'm clicking on them. So the first game in XFL Part 2 was the DC Defenders versus the Seattle
Dragons. That was a good game.
It was. The first points were a field goal.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Oh, another thing. There's no extra points.
Yes.
You can go for 1 from the 2, 2 from the 5, or 3 from the 10, I
Yep.
do believe.
That's right.
And
Point after touchdowns or PATs are way different.
and
No kicking.
The Twitter accounts of these teams are fire.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking of Twitter, we have more Twitter issues with Kevin Durant. We'll discuss that later.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, the XFL Twitter account tweeted out 17-point game is still 2 possessions.
Yep.
And it's like,
yep.
it kind of is now, so
Yep.
yeah, I guess so.
You
But-
can still kick field goals, obviously, but
Yeah,
just
field goals are
after a touchdown,
Yeah.
you got to either go for a 1, 2, or
3
point
with no extra
conversion.
points. Saw a blocked punt touchdown yesterday. That was the LA Houston
And
game, I think.
punting rules are different too.
Yeah.
So the punting team cannot release past the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked. Gunners must line up on the line of scrimmage. They're permitted to move laterally once the ball is snapped until it is kicked. So nobody can pass the line of scrimmage
Yeah.
until the ball is kicked.
So the punter has to get more air under the ball in order for that not to be a big old return. Because if that guy gets his hands on it, they're still at the line of scrimmage. It's gonna be a big return no matter
Yeah.
what.
And it's touchback on a punt goes to 35. So that rule is the same.
Yeah, we saw that once. All right, once today. So the inaugural game, DC won it 31-19. The second game yesterday was Houston
Houston and LA.
and LA. Houston won it 37-17. Today's first game was New or
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. That was not close. 23-3.
23-3. That was the worst game of 4 that we saw.
And then to wrap up week 1, Seattle and Dallas. Seattle won St. Louis. Sorry, St. Louis won it 15-9. I don't know why I was saying Seattle, but St. Louis won it 15-9. That looks like a defensive showdown right there.
Yeah, it was for the longest part. It was actually I think the only points scored might have been field goals. I could be wrong on
pull
that.
it up, but I can't.
I could be wrong on that.
I mean, it would make sense. 5, 15, and then 9. So, anything else about the XFL?
There's double forward passes.
Yes.
Okay, what are the overtime rules?
Oh, overtime.
So it's supposed to be like a sudden death feel, something like that.
Okay.
So I'll just read the rule here real quick. Overtime shall consist of 5 rounds, staged in alternating single play possessions, as is customary in hockey. What?
Oh, so it's like a shootout.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 and 1. I remember.
So you get one play. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You get
each possession starts at the opponent's 5-yard line.
Yes.
And the offensive team has 1 play to score. Team with more points after 5 rounds is the winner.
Yep.
Wow. If a team has been mathematically eliminated before all 5 rounds have been completed, the game ends immediately. If a team scores on its first 3 attempts and Team B is stopped on its first 3 attempts, game. Teams are tied after 5 rounds, then rounds continue on until team is leading at the conclusion of a round. For scoring purposes, each successful overtime score is worth 2 points. So it's only worth 2 points in overtime. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like a shootout. Basically, like soccer. It's penalties, basically.
If a defense commits a penalty, they get a reattempt from the 1-yard line. So that's interesting.
All right. So transition or anything else?
That's all I got. XFL.
NBA. Touch on a little bit. It's not our main sport. That's why we're not talking about it much. His main sport is football. Mine's baseball. We both like basketball. It's just not our main thing.
This week was the trade deadline. Thursday was the deadline.
And OKC did not make any moves.
Thunder did not make any moves, which kind of surprised me.
So Houston lost. If we would have won, we would have been tied for 5th.
Wow.
But we ended up losing by 1.
So we're tied in the 6th spot.
Yes.
But I think we have the tiebreaker over the Mavs.
We're the same amount of games back from first place as we are from being out of the playoffs. We're 8 games ahead of Portland, who's the 9 seed, and we're 8 games back of LA, the Lakers.
Which, coming into this season, is
I was expecting us to be down here.
Way higher expectations than anybody in the whole league thought.
Yeah. So we'll look at the Eastern Conference. If the playoffs started today, Milwaukee would be the 1 seed, Toronto the 2 seed, Boston the 3 seed, Miami at 4, Philadelphia at 5, Indiana at 6, Brooklyn at 7, and Orlando at 8. I think.
How far is Orlando ahead?
What? Orlando is
3 games up.
Yeah, 3 games ahead of Washington. In the Western Conference, you got the Lakers at 1. Denver is actually at 2 now. The Clippers are at 3. Utah is at 4. Houston is at 5. OKC is at 6. Dallas at 7. Memphis at 8. That Memphis team is going to be really good.
Yes.
Really quick. They're young.
They made a trade.
They did make it. I
don't
traded
know.
Iggy. They got rid of Iggy and they got rid of Jay Crowder.
Yep, and they got Deion Waiters, which I saw they waived. They waived Waiters.
Oh.
And they got 1 or 2 other people. I can't remember who
They are a young team that is going to cause trouble in the Western Conference.
Morant, however you say his name.
Ja Morant. You got. I know the guys on the team. I just can't think of their names right now. But they're really young and they're really good.
They're going to be good in the future.
So if the playoffs were to start today, we'd have the Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, we play the Clips.
I kind of want the 4 and 5 so we could maybe play Houston.
I would like a 4-5 matchup
with Houston
because those 4-5 matchups go either way.
Yes, I mean the 3-6 is kind of can. I don't think
any series can unless
except
like
for
1-8.
1-8. Well, we said that about 1-16 in the March Madness, and Virginia
Yeah,
ends up
that's-
losing
well,
to
March Madness is different.
March Madness is something special.
It is.
So, I mean, oh wow, team leader for OKC in points is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 19.5. That's good. Rebounds, Steve Adams, 9.2 assists. Obviously,
Okay.
CP3. Still, CP3 blocks.
One thing,
CP3
I just gotta say one name.
is the man.
Chris Paul.
Is the man.
Chris Paul. That's all I gotta say.
Retired in number.
Chris Paul. We didn't. There's people who thought he wouldn't even step on the court.
Yeah.
As a
And then he
playing
loves
for
it
the
here.
Thunder. He loves it.
He loves it. I love it.
I think he's gonna play out the rest of his contract here.
Is it 2 more years? Something like that.
That's gonna be costly for the Thunder, but
But he's got that veteran.
we'll take it. We can make a run. We can make a run.
So, involving the NBA. Kevin Durant.
Oh my! It's a name that shall not be
Kevin
named.
Durant spoke about OKC again. And I quote, this was said via All the Smoke podcast. It was on a podcast. And
Interesting.
it was, why
This
did
is
you
on a
leave
podcast.
OKC? Or a podcast, kind of. So he said, quote, in OKC, I played with a lot of athletes. I didn't play with a lot of skilled guys, not like shooters/ball handlers. I was like, I needed change, and this was before the season even started. I was tired of having to be the only guy that can make threes, make jump shots, and consistently make them.
Okay.
So, here, a lot of athletes didn't play with a lot of skilled guys.
Then how are we in the Western Conference Finals with a 3-1 lead over Golden State? Because you
And
can't do that with just one player on the team.
no.
That's impossible.
Also, talking about his burner accounts, he said he's still going to do it. He just slipped up that one time. So he's soft for using a burner account, not
Yeah.
using his actual ones. And then someone from
Dude, why you gotta go on Twitter to burn somebody? Just
an OKC's
Like-
OKC supporter says, "Man, our PR team, or whatever it is, must be really soft because Kevin Durant didn't say anything when he was in Oklahoma."
that is true.
It's like, oh.
That is true.
So, and then if I can find the graphic I want, I can't find the graphic, but it listed out in the playoffs 2016, I believe. We had that 3-1 lead over
Yeah,
Golden State.
that was 2016.
3-point shots, makes, and percentages. Serge Ibaka shot 44.9 from 3 points, three-point range. Deion Waiters 37.5. Westbrook 32.4.
No way Westbrook shot better than us.
32.4. Andre Roberson, 32.4. Randy Foye, 30.8. Kevin Durant, 28.2.
Now,
I'm sorry.
he probably shot more shots than them, but still.
No, he didn't shoot more shots than Russell. I'm trying to find that photo.
Well, yeah, not Russ. I know that for sure. He didn't shoot
If
more
I can
than Russ.
find the 3-point thing. I might have liked it, honestly.
In the last 3 years, I've lost all respect for Kevin Durant.
It's stupid.
We had something incredible here, and we would have won a championship. But,
Just untimely injuries. That's all it is.
Yep.
I cannot
And
find the
we
picture.
shouldn't have blown that 3-1 lead. But still, even for him
But
to
that
make up,
goes from KD too.
from him making up that crap, how like we didn't have shooters and stuff.
Wait.
But you still don't go to the team that you just lost to.
No.
That's wrong. You don't.
Okay, here it is. Kyle Singler actually went 2 for 4 for 50%. Josh, I'm not even going to say that last name. So Serge Ibaka 31 for 69. Kevin Durant went 31 for 110.
Russ went.
34 for 105. Russell Westbrook was a better three-point
Russ only
shooter
shot 5 less shots and still was better
in
than
the
him.
2016 playoffs. The playoffs that Kevin Durant said he had no help. Buddy, you shot 282. 28% on 110 three-pointers. I can probably make 30 three-pointers at 110 shots. Buddy, it's not the team around you, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yep.
And then
So somebody needs to eat his words.
everyone's arguing on Twitter like, Golden State needed him. Golden State didn't need him.
No.
They needed him out of OKC
Yes.
because they knew OKC was a problem.
We had him beat.
OKC was
We
a
had 'em
problem.
We would have won the finals that year too. Definitely. Golden State had the 3-1 lead on LeBron. We would have.
LeBron's a different animal.
Yeah.
It's not Golden State needed him to beat the Cavaliers. It's just Golden State needed him out of OKC
Yep.
to even get back to where they were.
Right.
They were 73-9. They don't need Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant wanted a ring the easy way because he's soft. He's a cupcake. He's a snake. He's a lot of things.
Amen.
I can go on with this.
Yep. Me too. I still get
Time
mad about
restraints,
it.
though.
I still get mad about
It's
it.
just stupid. He's ignorant.
Yep.
He's like a 5-year-old. Got Twitter fingers.
Come on, man. Just
Got Twitter fingers, but he's soft when it comes to
I'm just saying, grow up, dude. You're like 30. Grow up. Come on. You don't gotta say all that crap.
It's every week it feels like something new comes out. But Kendrick Perkins is being Perkins is like the new OKC spokesperson.
This
Which
man
I'm
defends,
okay with it.
This man defends OKC.
Yeah, so I'm not happy. Obviously, I'm happy Kevin Durant ain't with OKC anymore.
No,
I'm not
can't
happy
stand
with
him.
what he's saying. If he would have left and not said anything about it, we would have been okay. If he would have left to anybody but Golden State, we would have been okay. It's just the fact that he left for Golden State, which makes it worse. I mean,
And how when he first got in that debate with Perk, that was right after Russ came back for his first game back. So he was mad
He
that
was salty.
Russ got a great reception.
Russ is going to get the number 0 retired.
Yep, exactly.
Easily.
But when he came back, he got booed and crap. Of course he did, because it was the way he
Here's
was.
the thing. Even if Kevin Durant wanted to come back for his final year, he will not be allowed to. I don't think if it's still Presti, I don't think Presti will do it. Russell Westbrook can come back whenever he wants.
Oh yeah.
One more year, you want a 1-day contract to retire Thunder. Here. Kevin Durant, I don't see it happening.
Russ is gonna get a statue.
Russ will get a statue.
Russ will
He's
get a
going to
statue.
get the street named after him.
Yeah.
Russ
Way.
Brody Way.
Brody Way.
Brody
That's
Way.
It. That's it. Right outside the peak.
It's just infuriating with what Kevin Durant is actually implying here.
With all that being said, the Thunder have a bright future.
I'm excited about the playoffs. I don't see us winning the finals this year. I see us making a second or third round run,
I could see us doing
depending
it.
who we pull.
If we can slide into that 4th or 5th spot, it's anybody's ball game.
It is. So,
With that being said,
anything else on NBA?
yes, I got something.
Okay.
So, since we're kind of talking about playoffs, I know we're far. We still got two months till playoffs.
April 15th.
But what's your early final prediction?
Lakers,
Bucks.
Bucks.
Bucks. So what would be your Western Conference final?
Western Conference final?
Obviously
With how
Lakers
it's-
and
I could see it being Lakers, Clippers.
I could see that too.
I could also see Lakers, Nuggets. But I think Lakers, Clippers makes more sense.
That would be something.
LA.
LA.
Each game is a home game.
Each game's a home game.
It don't matter. There's no reason. Just play one. It
Dude,
don't even matter.
Think if like the Clippers were in the East and then they both made the finals.
Bro.
That would be something else.
Or that whole re-seeding stuff they do. So my Eastern Conference, though, I got Milwaukee, Boston.
Boston.
No. Yeah, Milwaukee, Boston. Because I think Toronto will drop off in the playoffs. So.
Okay, since losing Kawhi, they've had a pretty good season.
They have.
39-14.
But it's regular season, too.
No, yeah,
It's
I'm with you there.
It's not a playoff team every night.
Boardman got paid in LA.
He did.
So, I mean.
And there's a tweet like, name one superstar who does this, and this, and still has the emotion of Kawhi Leonard. And someone said Tim Duncan.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get you 20, 10, 5, and 2, and still be just
rock solid.
acting like he'll go through McDonald's drive-thru.
Growing up as a kid, Tim Duncan was one of my favorite
Dude, the Spurs'
players.
big three were solid.
Because before the Thunder got
Ginobili,
here,
Parker, and Duncan.
the Spurs were my team before the Thunder got here.
Celtics were mine before us.
I was a huge Spurs fan.
Surprised you weren't a Mavericks fan.
Yeah,
I could see being Maverick.
My brother was a Spurs fan, so I kind of got that from him.
Makes sense.
And then my favorite player was Tim Duncan. Growing up,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Anything else? Who's your finals prediction?
I think it'll be Milwaukee. For the Eastern Conference Final,
Yeah.
it'd be either Milwaukee versus Toronto or Boston. And then Western Conference, I like that. I like that LA.
I can see it. And then I think
Clippers versus Lakers.
I think LA wins in 6 against the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks have the shooting to keep up.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Giannis, but
And LeBron's been to the finals a billion times.
AD's gonna. They have LA has guys to cover Giannis.
Yeah, I don't. Man,
Giannis isn't a shooter.
Dude, that'd be a great series.
If Giannis could get a 3-point shot, it's game over.
That would be a great series. I could see that going 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. Does the All-Star game decide who gets?
No,
that's
only
best
MLB.
record. It's just best record. So right now, it would probably be Milwaukee have home court advantage because they're 45-7 right now. So that's crazy.
So,
that's all I got on NBA, man.
yeah. MLB. It's been a minute. The trade finally went through today for Boston and the Dodgers. After about a week, Dodgers are giving away Jeter Downs at shortstop, who's probably going to get switched to second base or third, and Connor Wong, who's a catcher. They also get Mookie Betts. Sorry, my wife is doing something. Huh? We got 5 minutes left. I don't know what's going on in there. Hold it down for me really quick.
All right. Yeah, so that Mookie trade finally got finalized today. So Mookie's headed to LA. So the Dodgers are going to be pretty stacked.
Yeah. She was just telling me she was going to sleep.
I saw something that the Jock trade fell apart, right?
Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of trades falling apart.
Does that mean the Dodgers get to keep Jock too?
Yeah. Yes, but I also think Jock's about to get traded too.
Probably. I bet they'll use him. Like, what is their roster, right? I mean,
and we got Verdugo.
Yeah.
That's what I forgot. Verdugo.
Did y'all get any draft picks out of that too, Shirley?
I don't think so. We're stupid.
I mean,
it wouldn't be the first time we got rid of an MVP.
Yeah. Dude, Mookie was one of a kind, man.
I'm happy, but I'm kind of disappointed in it too. I'm happy because I knew he wasn't going to resign, but I'm disappointed. Like, we feel like we could have got more. But we still have a good team. I don't think we have a World Series team. We might have a wild card team.
So you got Cody Bellinger,
dude,
MVP.
They're solid. Seager,
Max
Muncy from Baylor.
Hey. He played in OKC down here too.
Yeah.
Kenley Jensen in the bullpen. Clayton Kershaw.
Just look at the hitters. You have first base probably going to be
Max
Muncy. Second base. They have second base.
What's his name? Oh.
The young guy.
Never mind.
He's a young guy.
Enrique Hernandez?
He could be. He's probably going to flip it.
I thought he played outfield.
I think he's utility.
Yeah.
There's a young guy at second. I know. Shortstop, Corey Seager. Justin Turner. You got left, center, and right of Mookie.
You could have Jock out there.
Jock. AJ Pollock out there too.
Like, they're going to be stacked.
And they got Blake Trump. Dodgers win the World Series.
Dude,
as long as the Yankees don't.
Man, they're gonna be stacked. That's all I'm saying.
Roster or management hires. Houston hired Dusty Baker.
Yep.
Boston's yet to report anybody, and there's only like 3 more days till pitch and catch a report. So this will be interesting. I'm hoping it's Jason Varitek.
It's a good way to start.
All signs are pointing towards Jason Varitek doing it. Because his wife tweeted out the big eye emojis the other night, and they're like really big with the Red Sox organization. It's like, oh. So wrapping this up because we're timing
time.
The next 6 weeks,
starting next Sunday.
Starting Sunday. Yep. Episode 11. Each week we are previewing one division in MLB. We start with the AL East next week. So rundown, who's finishing where, prediction for who's their best pitcher, player, blah, 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 whatever. Then we'll go to AL Central, AL West. Then we'll go back to NL East, Central, West. And by that time, the regular season will have started. March 26th, one day
I
after my
think
birthday.
when we finish that last one,
That
I think
last
that
Sunday
next week,
is...
like that next Thursday is like opening day.
Yeah, Wednesday,
could be
Thursday is
could be
opening
wrong
day.
about that.
It is. So I'm really excited about that.
Go Rangers.
I'm gonna have a lot of stats to talk about. We're coming into my territory now. We were all in his territory. Now it's my territory. I'm excited about it. Pumped.
I'm hoping that the most exciting thing for the Rangers this year is not that the
Just gonna be the new
stadium.
ballpark. Joey Gallo, sets a new record for strikeouts or home runs. One of those two. Either way.
Maybe both.
Marcelo Colon still with y'all?
No.
Resign him.
He's old. He still pitch
The MLB needs Bartolo.
Yeah.
Did you see him mowing down kids in Dominican?
Yeah.
Dude. Anyway, so join us next 6 weeks.
We'll be breaking down MLB. Baseball is here.
Also, MLB The Show comes out. We might be getting some games on MLB The Show on our podcast. We never know. Might have to start a whole gaming channel. Who knows?
There we go.
But yeah, that's all for episode 10 from me.
That's all I got. Episode 10.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Check out our SoundCloud, which is in the link on
Episode 8.
Episode, yep.
Izzy, got any words? She shook her head. Yeah, so.
We'll catch you up next week on the latest breaking news in sports.
All-Star game, Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday.